Hello to myself and everybody else. This is video 112. So far today, I'm still messing around with C++. And so far this time, we're looking at something called concepts. So I'm going to set this up again. And basically, with concepts, it's basically the same thing as templates, except with this, we can kind of put like more specific limitations on it. So for this, I'm going to just set up like a basic template real quick. So, well, one thing we do need with this, and this is something the video had, we need include, and then concepts. And also concepts only work in C++ 20 and up. If you go below, it just like won't work. But yeah, basically with concepts and everything too, I just have like a basic template. So it'll be template type name T. And so I'm just going to put them on each different line and stuff too. We can do this all in one line, but it'll be really long. So from here, let's go ahead and say T add. There's been the name of the method. And we'll say takes variables A and variables B. And what it does is return A plus B. So basically this right here is a basic template for a concept. Basically we just add in a line right here where it would be something like requires, and for this we'll say integral. So basically an int, and put this right here too, and all a t inside of a greater than less than sign. And basically what this does right here is that variables A and B in the method add right here, basically these have to be ints. If they're not, it won't run whatsoever. So basically we're going to just like make sure this works and everything. So I'm going to make two variables. So int A equals 56, int B equals, let's say 3, auto results equal, and we'll just say add A and B, and then we'll just print it to make sure we can see what it is. Yeah, so like I say again, basically this template and everything right here, so far we got a method called add in the template, and basically it requires that A and B, the two variables in add, have to be ints or integrals. If they're not, this won't run whatsoever. So far both of these are ints, so it should run. Yeah, so it did run. It just added 3 to 56, give you 59. If I change both of these to double, so I hold control, select both of them, change them to double, and now run it, it doesn't work. It says no matching function for call to add. Both of them are doubles, and so far they should be ints, so that's why it's not running. So if I hold down control and click both spots again, change them back to int, run it, runs perfectly fine. So far that's the whole thing with concepts there. Basically you're just kind of putting limitations on a template just to say don't run unless this specific thing is the case. Also with integral and stuff here, I got this from this website over here. So far the concepts library, and so far we scroll down and stuff here too. Here's like other library concepts, so you can use like same as, you know, integral. This is the one right here we use. Integral specifies that a type is an integral type. You can use like different things stuff here too as well. But basically this is where I got it from and everything like that. So that was basically the whole thing with it. The only other thing the video really showed was basically just, again, setting up the concept and everything up here, is that you can kind of set up in different ways. So right here we have the requires, integral, T, and everything right here. If I take this out and I put it behind the function, this should still work. Yeah, it still runs. I can also, or if you want, you can also just hit enter, put it under it. Just kind of swap the two. It'll still run. You can also do this. Take integral and just erase this whole line right here. And so right here, this is a basic template. You can make it a concept by changing type name up here. to whatever you want. So you make it std : integral, or since I'm using a namespace, I just put integral here. Or you can use one of the other things over here as well too. Just put it where type name is, run it. Again, should still work. Let's just make sure. I'll just change both back to double and make sure it crashes. Yep, doesn't run because again, they should both be ints. Yeah, the whole thing there with that. Or if you want, you can set it up in a completely other different way as well. So I can do this. Say auto. And then from there we say add the name of the method. Then from there we put the parentheses. And inside of it we put integral auto A, integral auto B. Basically the same way we set up like the function, except the thing is, again, instead of having template, type name, and all that, we just say auto, the name of the function here, and then inside of parentheses, instead of just putting like capital T and then the variable, we put integral auto, or whatever you want to use, auto, and then the variables. So we run it again, and there we go, it runs. Change them to double again to make sure that, you know, it's actually working. Yep, same thing, didn't work. So that means it is for a fact still working as a concept. Yep, and so far that's the whole thing and stuff here. The other thing too, just to show, is that again, if I change this to like C++ 17, it doesn't work because it again is like auto, stuff like that too and all. Same thing if I put it like in C++, just the basic one, it won't work. But if I put it in 20, it works. So basically this whole thing stuff too, just concepts only work in C++ 20 and up. And so far that was just showing the other ways you can set up concepts as well. So that's just another thing just to take note of. So far the other thing the video showed as well was how to build your own concepts. So basically with these, we're kind of using like integral, which comes from, again, this site over here where it has kind of like pre-made stuff. Basically, if we want to like make our own concept, so have it do like something specific or only factor in very specific things, we basically could just make one of those. So let me first just separate a thing so we just kind of like see what we're doing. So build own concept. I spelled that wrong. And so far, let me pause real quick. I'm just going to change the concept here back to the other format. I kind of just prefer that more. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So far, I just changed the concept back to the other format that I just did earlier. Template, type name, requires integral, you know, then the name of the function, everything. I just wanted to have it back there. But so far, basically the whole thing too, just building your own and everything. You'll basically use template, type name, T, and then from here you'll put requires. Oh, no, you wouldn't. Sorry, I was back in the other thing. All right, put concept, and then from here, whatever you want the name of the concept to be. So the video had one called my integral, so I'll just put that. Then from there you say equals, and then whatever you want it to equal. So for this one, we'll say is integral v, and then put a t here inside of greater than less than, then a semicolon at the end. Basically what this does is it just checks to see if whatever we're using, the variables and all that, are integrals. So basically that's mostly just checks to see if it's int, like the way we did the other one. But basically what we do is this right here in our concept, we just change integral to the name of the concept we just made. Again, there we go. And from here we can just run it. Base does the same thing. It just checks to see if they are integrals. So again, we just change it to double. Just make sure. Same thing, doesn't run because they're not integrals. There we go. Runs and all that. Basically, that is the whole thing, just building our own concept. So far, there's like a few others they made as well. So just like look at those real quick. So basically, same thing. Template, type name T, concept, and then from here, we just say, like with the other one, it was like multipliable equals, and then requires TA, TB. From here, instead of a semicolon, we put bracket here, or brace. I always get the name mixed up. I just know what I have to put there. Just the name I keep messing up. Then we just say A times B, close semicolon. Put a semicolon here at the end. Yeah, because all our concepts, got to make sure you put a semicolon at the end of it or it'll mess up. Basically, what this does right here, multipliable, it requires that the two variables we got in here, so A and B, requires that they can be multiplied together. That's really the only thing. It doesn't say they have to be, it just says that they can be. So basically, if I do this, copy this, change the concept to this. So right here, the template or the concept we have here will be, it requires to use multipliable, which means the variables A and B have to be able to be multiplied, and then we'll just, add them, because this is what this template or concept right here does. So again, we run this, it runs like normal. If I do this, change them to double, same thing, it runs, because again, these two numbers can be multiplied. So doubles and ints, they can be multiplied. If I change these to something else, so like let's say this string, and I say this and this, if I run this now, won't work, because so far strings cannot be multiplied together. So that's why this does not work whatsoever. So we're going to just change these back real quick. So just random numbers here. Whoop. So just run it. Again, there we go. So far, again, that's how it works and everything as well. Still adds it and everything together. So far, wanting to multiply, again, we just change this right here. So we're changing what's inside the concept, not inside the one we built and everything. But so far, again, this one add, now it should multiply the two numbers. Things like that. We'll change it back to add. So again, just basically reminding that like this template here, it just checks to see if they can be multiplied. It doesn't require them to be multiplied. That's like just the only thing there with that one. And so far, the last one that it showed was basically another concept we can build, where basically this one just checks to see if the variable can basically be increased by 1. So concept, and from this one it was called incrementable, so I'll just name it that. And so far, like I said, the names we have here and all that for each one, we can make whatever we want. Like we just, that's basically like the function or variable name, we just call it whatever. And from here, basically it said requires, and then just T and A. And from here, we're basically just going to put the semicolon at the end so we just remember. And from here, basically it was based something like A plus equal 1 plus plus A and A plus plus. Basically, this is just checking to see that it can, whatever variable we have, it basically can just increase by 1. So again, we'll just do the same thing. Just take this variable name and just put it here. And from here, basically, it should do the exact same thing, where again, it should run. Oh, wait, I forgot to put a semicolon here. Alright, now run it. Yeah, same thing. It should still run with like int and double. Yeah, same thing can run and everything. And just if we change it to string, then it just shouldn't run. And do the same thing. Just put the same thing we always put. I messed that one up, but just test it right here. So just run it. And it doesn't work because, again, strings cannot be increased by 1. So that's just the whole thing there. Just go ahead and change them back real quick. So we can just, There we go, just run it again. There we go. So yeah, that's really the whole thing too, just building our own concepts and stuff. One thing I did kind of forget too was Bezos another include on this. So that's just in case if like this didn't work for somebody, if somebody's ever watching this, or just for me in the future. It was basically something called type traits. Yeah, so far again, have no idea what that does, no idea why it was added. It was just a thing the person added in the video. Again, as you saw, like this worked without it, but I guess if you're trying this and it's not working for some reason, this is why you need this include type traits and include concepts. So again, it might be because of the compiler I'm using, the online one, that's why I don't need it. But again, just in case, if it's not working, you probably got to add this. So, yeah. But really, so far, that was really it. Just what the video showed, just like what concepts were and how to build your own. And beyond that, again, that's mostly it. So far, I still got like a while left of this too. I'm like on hour 20 out of 31. So, again, got like 11 hours left. But yeah, that's really it. The next part should just be kind of more stuff on concepts, and I think specifically on the requires part of it. So, yeah, but that's mostly it for this one. So, myself and everybody else, see you in the next one.